Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's live stream. I hope that you are all doing well. Welcome. Tonight we will be discussing a couple of rumors, a couple of speculations, nothing that's currently confirmed, but a lot of rumors. And Anthem. We can't forget about Anthem, the game that just will not die. I honestly can't believe that people are still worried about Anthem. So tonight we are going to be discussing a rumor that Kathleen Kennedy is heading for an early retirement from Star Wars after a lot of things have piled up. We do know right now that there are rumors that the Kenobi series is being delayed, maybe even canceled. That there's problems with that, even though Ewan McGregor is trying to say there's no problems at all. The crew was let go, which we will discuss in a couple of minutes. But there are rumors that after she has basically gutted Star Wars, she is headed for an early retirement. We're going to be discussing Anthem. Some news about Anthem came out today that the team plans on redesigning the game. And it sounds like they want to pretty much release one big patch for the game. They're delaying a lot of content that would help the game survive to basically what they're saying is redesign a lot of the game. Who knows how that will go, but it doesn't sound like something people really want. I mean, is anyone really playing Anthem anymore? We're also going to discuss the fact that Birds of Prey has had the worst box office opening ever for a DC movie. Congratulations. You went woke and you went broke. I also wanted to discuss the rumor that there's a lot of speculations right now that possibly the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 could be delayed due to the coronavirus. Of course, most of the parts are manufactured in China, and as the virus is going on, right now is really when they're in a prep phase. So we'll be discussing all of that, but welcome everyone to the live stream. I hope you are all doing well. Before we get into the topics at hand, I will chat with you guys for a moment. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Wait, who's the witch? Is it Kathleen Kennedy? She's more of a witch. More than a witch. She's a bitch. I'm never going to get a sponsorship by Lucasfilms. It's sad. It's sad that they would cast aside a female that has love in her heart for their franchises. Guys, maybe if I play the woman card, they'll like me. Guys, I'm gonna pull out the woman card. Doing the most well. Hello, Grizz. I am glad that you are doing well. Which is which? Yeah, which is which? Found magic cards. Apparently, I own a $13 Voice of Resurgence. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. It's always good to find things like Magic the Gathering cards that you don't remember that you have, or that you did not even know that you had. Maybe you picked it up in a trade. Maybe you just, I don't know, won it. Who wins magic cards? Guys, I'm going to open up a local game store where every time you walk in the door, you win a magic card. How about that? Sounds pretty good, right? I like it. Woo, I made it. I hate tax time. Understandable, my friend. Well, I'm glad that you are all here. I'm doing good, Peter. How are you doing? I hope that your night is going well. Really excited for this week's Nintendo Direct. I honestly don't care about Nintendo Directs anymore. It's not that I don't like Nintendo. Jeez. It's not that I don't like Nintendo, don't get me wrong. But I really don't like these companies like Sony and like Nintendo doing their own like mini E3s every couple of months. I like that they're showing off their products, but I would rather see them maybe show trailers and clips for games within a couple of weeks, maybe like one a week, instead of having them all at one event. Now that's just what I prefer. Obviously more people probably prefer it being like a 2 or 3 hour event. I just kind of, jeez, my cat's going crazy. I just like news to be more spread out. If Trump doesn't pay taxes, neither do I. Okay. I like that. quick question. What types of game do I like? I can like any sort of game, honestly. I play a lot of games. A big genre that I really like are Metroidvanias. I really love Metroidvanias, but I really love RPGs. I can get down with any sort of game. The PC gaming show will be at E3. There's so many different things at E3 that I like to watch, but the thing with E3 is I like it because it's multiple things. Like, I don't want to sit down and specifically watch a Nintendo Direct or like a Sony Direct. I like to sit down and watch maybe a 3 or 4 hour event where it's multiple companies, multiple products. You get tired of seeing like 5 different trailers for like Animal Crossing at once. I don't like watching something practically because that's what they do at these Nintendo Directs. They just repeat what they're showing like 2 or 3 times. She doesn't play strategy games or flight sims. I do, but not very often. Flight sims, I'm not good at them, I'll be honest. Maybe I should play a flight sim soon. I am going to be playing retro games. Before we get into the topics, this Friday I will be playing Super Metroid on the live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is the first retro game that I really want to play on the channel. Obviously, I have wanted to play retro more, and you guys have requested it. So the first playthrough is going to be Super Metroid, one of my very favorite games. Even mind games, I love mind games. Jedi mind games, love them. Let the cat stream. I would let the cat stream, but she would just chew the wires, and then you guys would have to donate to new like microphone and earphone wires, and we don't want that. We don't want that, do we? Actually, maybe you guys do. All donations tonight go to my cat and new toys and treats. Alright, you guys, so why don't we start off with tonight's topics. The first one is a rumor surrounding Kathleen Kennedy. Now, my highest viewed video that I have created on my channel is sitting around 50,000 views, and it is about Kathleen Kennedy saying, we don't have source material for Star Wars, that's why it's so difficult for our writers. All Kathleen Kennedy does is spew bullshit. She has been part of the failures of Lucasfilms and Star Wars, and there are a few rumors going around right now that she is heading for an early retirement from Star Wars after all of the problems that she has faced. A new rumor details that Kathleen Kennedy will be heading for early retirement following the delay of the Disney Plus Kenobi series. I do want to say that this is a Bounding Into Comics article, but the original source of this rumor was actually Midnight's Edge. Midnight's Edge has a fantastic track record with rumors, which is why I wanted to read through this and really give it a little bit of weight, but of course, please take it with a grain of salt. It is a rumor. Just saying. Midnight's Edge detailed the information they received from their source. The talk around Pinewood Studios is that Kathleen Kennedy is heading out the door for an early retirement. See you later. I won't miss you, Kathleen. Okay, she could have done something good, but she didn't. She just, like, all her fucks just flew away, and she just didn't care about Star Wars. It's like she was just given the position because she was a woman and they wanted to put diversity into the company, and she was their best worst option. Does that sound fair? They continued. A text message received confirmed Obi-Wan Kenobi's directors were told they can expect to be dealing with someone new in the near future, possibly within a matter of months. Now, I'm a little skeptical. The directors received a text message. Let's just get on our phones real quick. Don't you guys have phones? Let's just text the directors. Hey, we're not gonna have a business meeting. We're just gonna tell you over text, that she's out. A little, you know. who knows what was truly said, because this is not a word for word representation of what was said between Midnight's Edge and their source, but Midnight's Edge added the crew and contractors were officially released from the Kenobi series, meaning the project is cancelled. An official email released all personnel who will expectedly be working on other projects the next day. There have been quite a lot of rumors going around saying the Kenobi series is canceled, and I actually talked about it on the channel when the rumors started, and Ewan McGregor, who plays Obi-Wan, actually came out and said, no, don't believe these awful rumors, it's just internet trolls, the show is definitely continuing. And the more that we hear about these rumors, the more that I believe them, honestly, because we're presented with so much evidence. I just, at this point, truly do believe that the project was canceled or that they're having serious delays with it. This isn't the first rumor concerning Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilms. A previous rumor from back in October indicated Kennedy would be departing Lucasfilms following a fifth Indiana Jones film. Now, we did a couple of days ago get a little bit of information on the Indiana Jones film, and the fact that, of course, it was like around Kathleen Kennedy saying it's going to be great, and then they announced that it was not going to be like a remake of it. It's supposed to have Mr. Ford in it. I guess we'll see if that happens, because that is a project that is under Kathleen Kennedy's wings right now. That rumor came from Making Star Wars Jason Ward, who indicated that Kennedy would step down from running Lucasfilms, but would remain on board to produce Star Wars films. No! If you're going to get rid of her, just get rid of her. Please! I get that they want it to look professional, like she didn't get fired, but please! If you're going to take her like a step down, then don't give her Star Wars. Just go. I'm sorry. She doesn't know anything about Star Wars, and she doesn't care about Star Wars. I understand that not everyone that's part of a company is truly going to care about the source material and truly care about what they're hired to worry about. But I just want people in Lucasfilms that care, or at least the face of the company that cares. He also indicated that Kevin Feige would take over management of Lucasfilms. That could be good. That could be good. Fan speculation also heavily implied that Kennedy would be departing Lucasfilms back in September when they announced Kevin Feige would be producing a Star Wars film. Have we really heard anything else about his Star Wars film? I know that there's been so many rumors with, like, D&D. They were supposed to do a Star Wars trilogy, D&D from Game of Thrones. And then there were rumors about Kevin Feige doing something, and there's just so many rumors that it's hard to keep up, because I don't talk about a lot of rumors, but I do like to talk about ones that specifically have details that sound real to me, because so many rumors just start by someone saying, I'm going to make up this rumor, and then people are going to talk about it. So who truly knows? What is being worked on for Star Wars right now? I'm sure that they have multiple, things going on and projects going on, obviously, but I'm a little bit worried. One fan who happens to be a reporter believed the announcement concerning Feige was a pink slip for Kennedy. He explained, if you are the president of a division of a company and the CEO takes the president of a more successful division and gives them your resources, personnel, and your IP, and has them answer to someone higher than you in the organization, and I hate to tell you this, but you would have been demoted. This is what happened to Kennedy last night. Her 3-year contract has 2 years left and will expire in 2021. Apparently with a contract, you can just throw it out the window. Kathleen Kennedy reportedly signed a 3-year contract to remain on as president of Lucasfilms back in September 2018. She oversaw the decline of the Star Wars brand, including the first ever Star Wars film in Solo, a Star Wars story, lose money. She's been part of a lot of bad when it comes to Lucasfilms and with Star Wars. She gave the green light to Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, which exposed the cracks and flaws of Abrams' derivative of The Force Awakens. John's film also ripped out the heart of the franchise by destroying iconic characters like Luke Skywalker. It also completely changed the concept of the Force and somehow broke how starship battles work. The destruction would seemingly be completed with J.J. Abrams' The Rise of Skywalker that reincarnated characters from the dead and introduced the franchise-killing concept of Force healing. Something from the extended universe that they just decided to put in their movie. The extended universe that doesn't exist, you guys. It doesn't exist. Unless we want to steal from it. If this rumor from Midnight's Edge is true, it's possible Kennedy might not actually be shown the door until her contract expires. They might just have removed her decision-making privileges. That would be great. I'm gonna round of applause, my friends. You guys should clap in chat too, because if she has her decision-making privileges removed, oh boy, the woman's gonna be angry. The Kenobi delay seemingly indicates that, according to Ewan McGregor, they delayed production of the project for an entire year. Now, I think that this rumor does have weight. We've obviously, for a couple of months now, been hearing rumors that because she's done so much bad with Star Wars and Lucasfilms that she could possibly get the boot. She could be out. I never hated Kathleen Kennedy until she greenlit The Last Jedi. My problem with her is that she doesn't understand Star Wars. She doesn't understand the company that she works for, and when she greenlights something, she is thinking about women like her that would want to go and watch it. She wants to think about the normal moviegoers and the teenagers that want to go and watch a movie, and she's not thinking about those die-hard fans that care about decisions and care about the fine details, so she's greenlighting all of these things that truly just aren't working for the company. She says the Force is female. You know what? I think the Force could definitely be female if they picked good females. I am not against diversity. I'm not against there being women in movies and shows and women behind the scenes and women in leading roles. I think that that's great. I would have loved for the sequel Star Wars trilogy to be the Force is female. I would have loved to see a good, strong female character in Rey's role. I just think they went over the top with Rey, and that she was a plank. She had no personality. All she did the whole time was steal. She stole the Skywalker identity. She didn't have a personality for herself, and I just didn't like Rey. But let's say Rey was an amazing female character, I don't think anyone would be complaining. No one here, at least I don't think a lot of people here are against diversity. We're against forced diversity. What is going on in chat? So I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do you think that, I have previously talked about it. Do you think that George Lucas is going to come back to Lucasfilms and Star Wars? Do you think that this rumor holds weight? Do you think that Kathleen Kennedy will get the boot and will be heading for an early retirement? I'm curious. All right, let me check chat and see what you guys think. What's going on? Okay, Grizz, I appreciate your personality. I appreciate your personality, my friend, but you are a mod. Hey, Daryl, how are you doing? I hope that your night's going well. They don't care about the fans until the profits drop. Exactly. They don't care about the fans until they go, why don't you fans come and watch our movie? Why aren't you watching it? Well, it's because you're creating trash that fans don't care about. And it's true, they only care about fans when they need money from them. George isn't coming back. It wouldn't shock me if Kathleen splits, though. There are rumors, Dan, that George Lucas will come back. Now, I personally don't really believe it. I think that George Lucas is done. I think, especially after the negativity that has surrounded this trilogy and also, like, Solo, I really think that he's not going to come back. I think that Star Wars isn't dead. I think that it can be saved. I think that with, like, The Mandalorian, the new season coming out at the end of the year, I think that they do have something good going for them. But I just think that with the sequel trilogy, we should forget that it exists. And I think that they should do the same, honestly. I truly just... I'm worried about Star Wars. I don't think that it's dead. I don't think anyone's killed Star Wars. But I am worried that if Kathleen Kennedy was to stay on the projects and she was to continue... If she was to continue to run Star Wars and Lucasfilms and run it into the ground like she has, I do think that it could turn out to be an unfortunate situation. There is hope, though. I don't want to be negative and say Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is not dead. Obviously. I love Star Wars. I've talked about Star Wars many times on the channel. I love Star Wars. I want it to succeed. I want it to succeed. He's a 75-year-old billionaire. He isn't going to spend any real time beyond a couple of meetings. I think that he does care a little bit more about Star Wars than that. I do truly think that he does care about it a little bit. But I just don't believe that he cares enough to come back into direct movies and lead movies and write more material and really put time and effort into it. I do think, though, that if George Lucas was to oversee a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars project, I do believe that it could turn out better, maybe, than Star Wars is going right now. Right, people did not like the prequels, that's why he left. But the sequel is so much worse than the prequels. I can't believe it. Hey, Vara, did you enjoy Birds of Prey? If you didn't see, I did put up a rant/review on it. But we are going to discuss Birds of Prey tonight. So you can hear my opinions then. I'm sure you know what they are, though. I love the prequels. Fans were horrible back in the day. I don't love the prequels, but I definitely don't think that they're as awful as the sequels. Before we move on, because I do want to move on, but we are all enjoying the Star Wars talk, I think that the sequels started out with something. I think that The Force Awakens wasn't great now that we see what it's led up to, but I think that at the base of what The Force Awakens was, it could have turned out to be a good series. I think that it was a good foundation for something more. That's all. Alright, moving into the next topic. We talk about Star Wars quite a lot here. We love Star Wars. Why is there a giant ad on my screen? Please go away. They just can't let Anthem die. They can't. They're going, please, don't kill Anthem. We love it. I don't know why they won't let Anthem die. BioWare has decided Anthem deserves a second chance, and Anthem is to get substantial reinventions as BioWare rethinks the game's design. Basically, what they're doing is they're stopping creating relevant content for Anthem to rehaul the game. Who asked for this? The studio is pausing short-term updates to rethink its approach. The team behind BioWare's Anthem will be pausing development on short-term updates and expansions to focus on a much broader long-term redesign, the EA-owned studio's general manager Hudson said today in a blog post. The game is not yet even a year old, but BioWare appears to recognize that its online shooter, modeled after games like Bungie's Destiny and Ubisoft's The Division, has been a failure both in its design and its financial success. We recognize that there's still more fundamental work to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, but it will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. So they're not saying that it's going to be like an update or an expansion, yet it honestly sounds like they're just going to be releasing like a big big update. They're saying it's not going to be that. But to me, when I hear that they're reinventing the game, I would assume that it's going to just be an update. If it's not an update or an expansion, that means that they're re-releasing it. They're not saying that they're re-releasing it, which is why this sounds pretty odd. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards, while preserving the fun of flying and fighting in a vast science fantasy setting. Why, BioWare? Can't you just let Anthem die? What they need to do, if they truly love what Anthem is say, fuck Anthem, and just take the core of Anthem and just make a new game. Because you can do that. It's not like they can't do that. They could literally make a game that looks exactly like Anthem, but don't market it as Anthem. Just market it as a new game. Have someone write a new story, change up and update the graphics a little bit. I can tell that they're so disappointed that Anthem just did not work for them. But I honestly just think that Anthem has so much negativity around it that people are not going to give it a chance. BioWare says that to achieve this, it will need to give a dedicated team the time and resources to extensively iterate and test those fundamental changes to how the game is played. They are making a dedicated team and giving them as many resources as they can to fix it. But no one wants it fixed. I don't know what the player numbers are for Anthem, but I bet they're pretty damn low. In the meantime, we will continue to run the current version of Anthem, but move away from full seasons as the team works towards the future of Anthem. So basically, what they're doing with this is making the game... They're updating the game to be what it should have been at launch. We love that. Great. We'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes. I love it, store refreshes. We can't update the content, but we can update the pay-to-win store. Oy, this statement's bad. And revisiting past seasonal and Cataclysm content, starting with our anniversary towards the end of the month. They're making an anniversary event for all 100 players that still actually care about this game. It's unfortunate. It's not unheard of for the much-hyped games to undergo massive transformation after an initial launch flop. Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky are two of the most notable examples, but the games were extensively reworked over the course of multiple years, and the current states of both games are now considered profound improvements over the launch product. Bungie's Destiny series, which is perhaps the closest analog to Anthem currently on the market, has been reworked every couple of years or so since 2014, with massive fall expansions and revitalizing the game and its sequel. Anthem had a tougher road ahead, however. Its player base has likely shrunk considerably since launch, and the game has fallen off the map entirely when it comes to the seasonal update cycles of buzzed-about online shooters like Apex Legends, Fortnite, and Overwatch. BioWare is even saying that it cannot fix the game's problems with a Destiny-style expansion like Taken King or Forsaken, and it may need to do something akin to Final Fantasy's reinvention. That involved relaunching the entire game under a new name. It sounds like that's what they plan to do, is take what Anthem is and relaunch it. But my problem is the fact that how long are they planning to rework it? So Anthem right now, let's take Anthem right now. we're supposed to play this game for maybe a year with no content updates because they have a team working on this relaunch, let's say. What's going to make me want to play Anthem for that year? I won't care about Anthem in a year. In a year, I'm not going to want to see the content. And I understand that teams need time to remaster and redo things, but they should be honest and say, we're going to relaunch the game. Not say, we're working on a couple of things that might help the game. They need to be honest and say, we are going to relaunch this project bigger and better, and when the game comes out, you are not going to be disappointed in your purchase. You are going to be happy with what we have created for you, the players, and we feel confident in that. They need to be confident, and they need to be confident to consumers. Right now, I'm seeing developers that are saying, yeah, our game isn't good, so we're going to rework it. No. We need you to be confident. This is BioWare we're talking about. This is not just some company that no one cares about. This is fucking BioWare. Be confident, because I feel confident in BioWare. They've done some pretty questionable things lately, obviously, but I have confidence in them. And a lot of other people do too, I think. Whatever path BioWare decides to take, it's evident the studio is not giving up on Anthem. The game has a fantastic art style, I do agree with that, immersive world, okay, and a core concept that remains appealing to thousands of players. It just needs to layer on more depth and give players more of a reason to stick around in its world and spend time there. I agree with that. Creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you, Hudson says. Your feedback gives us guidance on how we can improve, and your passion inspires us with the courage to create. I look forward to working together with your involvement and feedback towards the best possible future for Anthem. So, it just sounds like they are going to relaunch it. They are not using the words relaunch. They're saying it's not going to be an update, it's not going to be an expansion, but they're not using the word relaunch. Who really knows what this will turn out to be, though I am very excited to see what BioWare can do with Anthem. Anthem was a game that at first I was fairly excited for it. I was interested in it. It was a game that did capture my attention, but it obviously fell flat very fast for many people, and now it's a game that you can go to GameStop and buy a $10 used copy, which is unfortunate. It must feel bad as developers to know you worked on a project for years and it flops like that. But Anthem was a game that should have been held back a year. If Anthem was releasing this month, let's say Anthem was releasing today instead of last year, and they had that year to work on and polish content, I think that it could have relaunched bigger, and it could have launched bigger and better, and it would have been just a better overall game and project. So that's all we know right now with Anthem and BioWare. They did make that statement today. I'm curious to see what will happen in the future. If there are any more updates, I of course will update you all. Before I look at chat and talk to you guys for a moment before moving to the next topic, if you're enjoying the live stream, please make sure to give it a like, and of course if you are not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter, and let's chat for a moment before we go into the next topic. Most of the key talent left. The only ones remaining are burned out. And it's unfortunate to hear because BioWare is I want to call BioWare a legendary company. And to see so many people leaving BioWare and, we have like layoffs and then we have people just quitting and leaving. It's sad to hear. But I do think that BioWare, their name is so legendary that people expect so much from them, which is good and bad because people know your name, people know who you are, and people have an expectation. But sometimes people can expect a little bit too much and then they get their hopes up and they're let down. Look at Blizzard with Warcraft 3 Reforged. Blizzard literally said in their developer update that people's expectations were too high. And now it is the worst rated game on Metacritic. Yes, we have high expectations, but companies are lucky that we know their name and that we do have high expectations because we know of the good products that they can give us. Don't forget to throw your money at our friend Vara. Yes, if you guys want to donate, I will put the link in chat. It is not required, but I do appreciate donations. Also, if you are not already, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. You can become a Dark Titan for just $1 a month. I will be, probably next week, I will be doing my supporter Q&A. So if you become a Patreon, you are a supporter, and then you can ask me questions for my monthly questions and answers video. Thank you, Sebi, for having me show. That is my shilling for the night. Honestly, Anthem never really captured my attention. I was never interested in that, and I called it out for the first day. It's going to be garbage. I actually was pretty interested in Anthem. Anthem was a game that I thought looked cool. Now, I like first-person shooters. I like looter shooters. I was a really big fan of Destiny. I really like Destiny. I think Destiny is a good franchise. I know that so many people don't think that, but I think with Destiny, when it first came out, it was so captivating because it looked so different. And I think that Anthem is the same for me. I really did like how Anthem looked. I liked what it seemed like. It just didn't flesh out because I truly do not think that they put enough work and effort into it. And I think that we're seeing companies holding back games now because they know that they want to make the game good. I mean, we've seen a couple of games at this point delayed, and they're being delayed because these companies are going, you know what, I'd rather delay it than have it flop because it's bad. That's what Blizzard should have done with Warcraft 3. They should have held it back. I mean, I support developers that want to hold their games back because they think they can do more with it. 100% think you can do it. I will support a company. If a company holds back a game that I'm interested in because they want to work on it, that is a pre-order for me. I will say, you know what? You notice that you want to put more work into it. That's a pre-order. 100%. Our high expectations are based on past better projects. We know what those developers are or were capable of. Exactly. And we have those high expectations because of what they've done in the past. But we also should have high expectations for what's in the future. I think that, yes, they've created some amazing games, but we look to them to create more amazing games, and when they don't, we feel disappointed because of the past. Yeah, maybe people should not have such high expectations and think that a game is going to release and be perfect day one, but at the same time, I think that it's fair to have pretty high expectations for a company like BioWare. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I was sure it was going to be like Warframe. Oh, well, Warframe is still there. I mean, that's what I say. If I think a game is going to be like something and it fails, well, I wanted it to be like X game, so I'm going to go back to X game. When there's too much hype, my flop senses start going off. Yeah, I think when there's too much hype surrounding something, people do kind of expect too much. Especially when there's like a lot of hype and a lot of advertisement, but, you know, we expect a lot. It's 2020. We want games to be good. It's time to talk about Birds of Prey. Now, if you guys did not see my video from yesterday, I discussed Birds of Prey and how it was one of the worst, if not the worst, DC movie ever created. I personally think that it is trash. It's so anti-male that it disgusts me. And apparently, I'm not the only person that thinks that it's shit. Birds of Prey has the worst box office opening ever for a DCEU movie. Now, there's a lot of criticism around DC movies. Obviously, we had Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, which a lot of people really did not like. I personally didn't think that it was too bad. Obviously, the CGI was trash, but I think that Birds of Prey was worse. People are kind of wish-washy about Justice League because a lot of people say they don't like Justice League. Justice League's a bad movie. Yet if you look at the ratings for Justice League, it's sitting at a solid 75% online, so it's obviously not as bad as Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was trash. It's trash. If you didn't see my review on it that I posted yesterday, please go and watch it. It was more of a rant on kind of like my criticisms of the characters and Harley and the anti-male, and you know, they even say in the movie that Black Mask hates Harley because she voted for Bernie and because she has a vagina. Birds of Prey deserved to flop. Birds of Prey opened to a smaller than expected box office number that makes it the worst opening ever for a DC Extended Universe film. The movie pulled in $33.2 million in the US for its opening weekend, and that's the lowest ever for DC's recent film universe. It's not the absolute worst of all time for a DC comic book movie. However, as the Josh Brolin 2010 movie Jonah Hex only made $5.3 million for its US opening. But it's the lowest for the DCEU that began in 2013 with Man of Steel. I actually really liked Man of Steel. I personally really like Henry Cavill's Superman. I really like Henry Cavill's The Witcher. Maybe I've got the hots for Henry Cavill. Toxic masculinity, let's go. I think that he's attractive, and I think that he's a great actor. And even though his Superman isn't the best Superman that has ever been portrayed, I did think that he wasn't bad. I thought that Man of Steel was like a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. I haven't seen it in a while. I should go back and rewatch Man of Steel, now that I'm thinking about it. And then it says the Phoenix Joker movie, which made more than $1 billion at the box office, is separate from the DCEU. I'm not talking about it tonight, but quick shout out to Jaquan Phoenix. He won an Oscar last night for Best Actor for Joker. Hands down, best movie last year. He did amazing. He's the second Joker to ever win an Oscar. He did amazing. He deserved it. He was great. Anyway, continuing on. Also, Phoenix. I like him a lot. He's really out of like his characters. He seems like a really cool actor. Let's party. The Birds of Prey box office opening is well below the $50 million to $55 million it was projected to make, and also below Warner Brothers' own more conservative $45 million figure they were expecting. $45 to $55 million for this movie on opening weekend. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say something that might piss people off. It doesn't have the Joker, so it's not going to sell. Now, I think that Harley Quinn is a great character. I think that she's really good. I think that Margot Robbie is a very good actress, but I think that she is too much of a side character in most people's eyes to go and watch this. And I think that's a problem. If this movie had the Joker, I think that more people would go and see it. And I'm talking about the casual moviegoers. I'm talking about the people that they're worried about marketing their films to. I'm not even talking about diehard comic book fans. If parents or kids even saw the Joker, they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's the Joker. Let's heckin' go. But when you're talking about Harley Quinn, I personally think that she's more of a side character, and I'm not saying that she couldn't be a main character. I'm not saying that, but I think that she's a good character with the Joker, which I did mention in my review/rant. Worldwide, Birds of Prey has now made $81.2 million worldwide, which is significantly below the $110 million mark that Warner Brothers was expecting. Now, they did actually say, I have seen this today, that they think that the coronavirus actually affected sales, of course, that it is a very big problem that is going on right now, and they are thinking that maybe that could be the reason why this projected sales number, compared to what it actually made, is there's such that discrepancy, but I just think that they didn't market it correctly. Deadline, which supplied all of the box office numbers, reports that Birds of Prey will likely struggle to reach $100 million at the U.S. box office. Oof! One finance source told the site, overall, it's bad. Birds of Prey had a $97 million budget, which comes down to $84 million with California's tax credits applied. This does not include marketing expenses, however. So basically, they needed to make like $100 million back. They're going to be lucky if they can truly make that back and make a profit, in a sense, because obviously business is about profit. It's about what you put out to what you take in, and it just doesn't sound like it's going to make them any money. Deadline also reports that the first cut of Birds of Prey tested really poorly. As such, DC movie executive ordered reshoots that got the movie in a better place. If this is what they consider to be in a better place, I honestly want to see what the original cut was. If this is what put the movie in a better place, I want to see. I want to see the first cut, please. Just give it to me. I won't tell anyone. I won't leak it online. Just give me the cut. Birds of Prey carries an R rating and it released in February, and both factors could have limited the box office results. I don't think that the problem here is that it's R rated. We saw the Joker made over $1 billion. I think the R rating, honestly, you can market that more. But I think that the problem is the content in it and the swipes at males they make and the women power. Harley Quinn never cared about women power. Harley Quinn doesn't care about representing female rights. She cares about taking what she wants, and she gets it. Whew. Anyway, that is all that we really know on Birds of Prey, and I really wanted to sit down and laugh at it together, because I think that this is hilarious. Birds of Prey has the worst box office opening ever for a DC movie, and I honestly think that it deserved it. I usually don't say that I want a movie to fail. I don't think that I have ever said I want a game to fail, because someone in the world will enjoy it. They make movies and games for all types of people. Anyone can enjoy it. I don't want to see these products fail. I want them to do good, so in the future we can see something even better. But I just think this was bad, and it deserved to fail. I don't like when in a movie they go anti-male. We hate men, women power. She voted for Bernie and she has a vagina, and that's why we hate Harley Quinn. I hate that. I cannot even imagine being a male and sitting and having to watch that movie in the theaters. I would hate to be a male and be forced to watch that. I would honestly walk out. And I hate the fact that, yes, they always have to take swipes at diversity and gender and race. They say they want to make movies with more females and people of different races and ethnicities to be diverse, to promote diversity. Yet when you are saying, we hate white people, and they make that prominent in a movie, and they say, we hate men, that's not being inclusive. Inclusivity by being exclusive doesn't work, and I don't like it. I didn't like the movie. Go watch my rant/review from yesterday. I did kind of go a bit more into detail, but Birds of Prey deserved to fail, and I hate to say that something deserved to fail, but it truly deserved to fail, and it was bad. It was really bad. Honestly. Probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of movies. What my ultimate worst movie would be, I don't know, but this is like top 3 contender. It had bad action, the story didn't make sense, the motives didn't make sense, all of the politics just... Let's not talk about it anymore. They want to go woke, they need to go broke. Yeah. It's not diverse if the leading ladies are all still white. I mean, it's diverse in the fact that, you know, they're putting women in high roles. I mean, if you make a movie with all females, then it's not diverse. It's the same with what you're saying too, though, Steven. Vara 1, Birds of Prey 0. Fuck Birds of Prey. You know what? Who made this movie? Who was the director of this movie? Who was the director? Who was the director? Screw you, Kathy Yan. You know what? You know what, Kathy Yan? You know what? Screw you. I don't know what else you've made, but you know what? Your movie sucked. That's literally, Birds of Prey is literally all that popped up. Hold on one second. Movies, she's done Birds of Prey. Alright. You know what? Because it's like your first big movie, I'll say, you didn't do as bad as you could have. Oh, I hate giving credit where credit's not due. Okay. Yeah, of course, we just have to hire all females because we want to be diverse. Exclusivity doesn't work. Ghostbusters 2016, great movie or the greatest movie? Great movie, 100%. 100%. Alright, you guys, the last topic that I wanted to discuss for the night is a speculation. It's not anything that is confirmed, but I did want to talk about it because I think that a lot of us are excited for the next generation of consoles. Obviously, you know, some people love buying the new consoles at launch. We love the exclusive games that launch. But the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 could possibly be delayed by the coronavirus outbreak. And this is not just someone saying it could happen. There are a lot of hints in this as to the fact that it could happen. Why it matters. The Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, the Xbox Sex, and the PlayStation 5 are set to arrive this holiday season. But the disruption caused by the coronavirus could see the consoles delayed, according to an investment bank report. The outbreak has been impacting much of the tech industry, with Nintendo announcing that the Switch production and shipments will be delayed in Japan. If you guys want a new graphics card and you don't have one, buy it now. If you want tech, buy it now before it skyrockets, because it's going to go up. Even if it doesn't skyrocket, it doesn't go up too much, it's all going to go up, at least a little bit. It already is starting to go up a little bit. The coronavirus has resulted in several manufacturing giants in China, including Foxconn, face disrupting as they quarantine employees, ask some to work from home, or temporarily shut down plants. In a recent note from Jefferies Group via Business Insider, the financial service firms warns that the longer these shutdowns go on, the more likely the next-gen consoles will be delayed or at the least suffer from restricted stock. The video game sector is currently manufacturing or beginning to a once in several years production generation change from the 2020 holiday season, reads the note. If company shuts down exceeds a month or so, game schedules will be delayed. New consoles may likewise suffer supply issues from a prolonged disruption ahead of their fall 2020 planned launches. Although most games are developed in North America, Europe, and Japan, large sections get outsourced to China. According to the note, as much as 30 to 50% of art creation in Western games is done in China. Things are even more concerning when it comes to hardware manufacturing, almost 100% of which takes place in China. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo said that 96% of consoles imported to the US in 2018 were produced in China, highlighting how the coronavirus crisis could affect the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Sex manufacture, resulting in limited stocks or delays. Nintendo has already said the Switch console, accessory, and game shipments have been delayed in Japan due to the virus, and the Switch version of The Outer Worlds has been postponed as Chinese developers, which are behind the port, has temporarily shut down. The outbreak has also affected iPhone production, has seen tech giants restrict worker travel, and caused LG and Ericsson to pull out of the Mobile World Congress. Now, obviously, like I said, this is just a speculation, but it does seem fairly realistic. I will be honest. The coronavirus is very serious, and of course we are not here to really discuss it, but there are rumors that the infected count and the death count are higher than what is being told to us. And if that was the case, that could cause this situation to be even more likely. Obviously, there's no official announcements that it will be delayed, but the coronavirus has grown every single day. I mean, even just yesterday, there were reportedly 90 deaths from it. So it is very serious. And as that progresses, if it continues to progress, sorry, I should say, my English, this could be a problem. Now, if they were to delay the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, I would assume that they would hold it back until March. I would assume that they'd take like 4 months. But honestly, we have no clue. They could be held back by a month. They could be held back by half a year. But even just at the beginning of the virus, Nintendo is already starting to have problems in Japan, where the virus, is pretty prominent. So we don't know if they will be delayed. They're just rumors, but game releases could also be affected along with the console releases. Sucks for you. The best games are PS exclusives. PlayStation does have some mighty fine exclusives. Sexy Cyborg is safe because she's in Thailand at the moment. I mean, there is 900 plus deaths actually, and 40,000 cases reported. Well, that's the apparent number. There are rumors that it is much higher, and they are not telling us, which could be worse. But yeah. It's serious, yes, but not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. More have died from Black Death in the year 2000, and that's a disease from the 1300s. Yes, it's still around. It's obviously not the worst thing that's ever happened, but it is very serious, and I did want to just talk about this a little bit. Obviously, people are affected by this. If people are sick, they shouldn't be working. They should not be worrying about making our Xbox consoles when they are sick and there's such a big problem, but anyway, that is all that I really had to talk about tonight, you guys, for the live stream. If you were here for the topics, thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. We talked about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, possible delays. We discussed Birds of Prey being the worst box office opening ever for a DCEU film. We talked about BioWare and Anthem, and we also discussed Kathleen Kennedy possibly retiring and being kicked out of Lucasfilms. I will go to the Q&A portion of the live stream. If you guys have any questions to ask me, please feel free to ask them now. I will sit and talk to you guys and chat for a couple of minutes. To be honest, I've been sick for 2 weeks now. Sebi. F in chat for Sebi. Yeah, a lot of people are sick. As you guys know, I've been pretty sick. I've had the flu. For 2 weeks now. The other night I was playing Temtem, and wow, that was a rough time. My voice has been pretty crackly in the past couple of videos, and even tonight I'm sure that you guys could hear it. But hopefully we will all prevail. I think that I'll be fine. I hope. Thank you so much, Steven. I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the compliment of the good show. I do my best, my friends. When are we going to see you play Dead or Alive 6 or Soul Calibur 6? I don't really play Dead or Alive 6 anymore. I don't know. There was a lot of drama surrounding Dead or Alive 6, and while I like the games, I'm not someone that plays fighting games on a regular basis. When a new one comes out, I'll play it. I play some classic fighting games, but I usually don't play too many of them. The next game that I'm going to be live streaming, for those of you that are here, is going to be Super Metroid. I'm going to do a playthrough of Super Metroid, most likely on Friday night. So that will be fun. After that, I'm not sure what game I will be going to next and what game I will be live streaming next, because I do want to balance retro games with, modern games, non-retro games. So yeah. Dead or Alive 6 was a disappointment to many. Yeah, it was a disappointment to me, and with everything that surrounded it, it truly just, I lost the passion for it, and I just didn't want to continue playing it. What do you think of the new Star Trek Picard? I've talked about Picard a couple of times, but Picard's okay. It is not the worst thing that I've ever seen, but it's definitely not what I want for kind of the final depiction of Jean-Luc Picard. I was expecting more. We are only on episode 3. Episode 3 was the worst episode by far so far. I personally think that episode 1 could have been a whole season. Too much information crammed into one. It's okay. I think that Picard's like a 6.5 out of 10. It's not the worst thing that I've ever seen. It's not as bad as Birds of Prey, but I'm curious to see how it's going to end. Which decade would you say is the majority of your favorite superhero movies? Honestly, I would... I don't know. I honestly do really like current generation, like Man of Steel, Superman vs. Batman. I really do like this generation. I also really loved Joker, and Logan. Oh, 2 amazing movies. 2 of the best movies I've honestly ever seen, so... I guess it would have to be, like, this decade/generation of superhero movies. Honestly. Don't get me wrong, I loved Val Kilmer as Batman. Oh boy. But I love Logan. I love Joker. Amazing. Amazing films. Amazing films. Picard should have started with a movie. I think that the first episode of Picard should have been a whole season. I think that would have been great. Logan made me cry. No, it didn't. I'll be honest, you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I've only ever cried at like 4 movies, and Logan made me cry. That hit me in the feels, okay? I cried. I'll admit it. That was my weakness. That's my secret. This is my secret. Orville was fun. Orville's great. Also, I love how it says no people are watching right now, and my phone says 50. Thanks, all 0 of you, for chatting. I appreciate it. I just don't see movies anymore. I watch very specific movies. I don't watch random movies anymore. I feel like too many of them are just bad. Titanic. What year was Titanic? 98? You got me thinking now. I'm not sure what movies have made me cry. It's been 1 or 2 for sure. Logan is one of the few movies that my feels were hurt. My feels. Adam Sandler's Click made me cry. I didn't like Click. Hot take. I know so many people like Click. Guys, Captain Marvel was the movie of the decade, of the century, of the millennia. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's a 30 out of 10, obviously. Negative 30. Parasite's a great movie. Parasite won a lot of Oscars, and I have actually not seen Parasite yet. I am going to watch Parasite. I'm curious. Won a lot of Oscars. I remember when it came out, I was skeptical, but I'm going to watch it now. Going to watch it now. I have to. It won awards, you know? Well, also, Captain Marvel was the best movie ever. I just had to say it, guys. I'm more excited for the Orville than anything produced by CBS. I agree. I think the Orville's really good. I think it's great. Minus 30 out of 10. I have watched DC Titans. It's okay. It's got its moments. It definitely has its moments. I think that their casting was great. I think DC Titans, their casting was good. I still feel skeptical about Starfire. I will be honest. I think that everyone else was great though. Starfire, she pulled it off though. I do think that she pulled it off. Nerd Rage. What are we nerd raging about? Yes, let's nerd rage. Prediction: 10 years after Patrick Stewart passes away, somebody is going to think it's a great idea to reboot the Picard character as a female. Daryl, I will kick you from this chat. Daryl, if you give them any ideas like that, I will ban you. Daryl, it's not even funny, my friend. It's not even funny. No. I'm so sick of them making everyone a female. I feel so drowned in representation. I don't want it anymore. Daryl, don't laugh. This is serious. I keep nodding off. I'll join the stream later this week, hopefully. Thank you for stopping by, TARDIS. I do very much so appreciate it. Guys, I do appreciate you being here for the live stream. If you are not already part of it, please make sure to join our Discord. Anyone can join it. There is a supporter-only chat in the Discord, but of course, you can join the Discord for free. Some people do have Discords where you have to pay for access, which is a little bit odd to me, but we don't do that around here. The pay-to-win monster is not that strong yet. He has not gotten that corrupted. On Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing a Magic the Gathering edition of Titan's Table. We will be discussing some GP Richmond situations, local game stores. Who knows what else we will discuss. Magic the Gathering based. And then Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a playthrough of Super Metroid. A very fun game. But thank you guys for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. Let me check chat one more time. Death is no longer a problem for Hollywood with their de-aging tech. They do use their de-aging tech quite a lot now. I just would rather them create new franchises, honestly. If you want to throw diversity into something, go for it. Just don't ruin a franchise. Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Magic the Gathering. Easy. Magic the Gathering. Alright, you guys, I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Again, please join the Discord if you are not in it already. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter for updates. But yes, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, and have a fantastic night, everyone.